Understanding Amazon's fees. In this lesson, we're going to take a look at all the fees that Amazon charges when we sell a product and also how to use their FBA revenue calculator to calculate profit. So Amazon charges two types of fees each time you sell an item. The first is the referral fee, and this is a flat percentage of each sale that is 15% for most categories. Now, the easiest way to think of this fee is that it's just a commission that Amazon charge you for selling your product for you. Now, as I said, it's 15% for the vast majority of categories, but you can see all the fees for all the categories by performing a search inside your Seller Central account for Selling on Amazon fee schedule. So by all means, if you want to go and check all the categories, you can. The second fee is the FBA fee, and this is a fee that Amazon charges to handle the storage, picking, packing, and shipping of your products to your customers. And don't worry, we're going to show you how to calculate this later on. So calculating profit. In order to calculate how much profit you make from each sale, you need to know all of the costs involved. Firstly, the cost of your product, including shipping it to Amazon, and the fees that Amazon charges. In other words, the referral fee plus the FBA fee, which we just covered. And lastly, any advertising you might have spent to make the sale. And we'll cover this in a later module. So why is this important? Profit is an important factor in picking our final supplier, but as you'll see, it's not the only factor. So let's look at an Amazon fees example. Let's say the item was selling on Amazon for $41.97. Then firstly, you would have to subtract the Amazon referral fee, which again, remember, we're treating as a commission, which is 15%, so that's $6.30. Then we have the Amazon FBA fees, which we've just covered, which would amount to around $4.75. And then it's minus the shipping to Amazon. And this is the shipping from either your house or your freight forwarder's warehouse to Amazon itself. This is not the cost of shipping it from your supplier to the US or wherever you're going to be selling. Now, we're going to estimate that most products are going to be about 30 cents per unit to ship within the United States because Amazon have a very, very competitive shipping rate with their partners, again, as you'll see. And we're also including a 20-cent label fee. Now, later on, you're going to discover that you don't have to use this because we can get around this fee by putting our label on our packaging. But for now, we're just going to assume that we're going to include that 20 cents for Amazon to put their label on the package. So again, it's a total of 50 cents. So seller proceeds, in other words, what Amazon will pay you for that product. And if you subtract those three things, the amount comes to $30.42. Now, before you get too excited, obviously we have to subtract the cost of the product. And we're going to say the cost of the product, including shipping it to the US, is $17.50. Now these numbers are for a real product. We're not just making them up to show you an example. And for the product, we assumed it would be around $1 per unit to ship to the US. So our net profit for this would be $12.92 or 31%, which is a pretty good profit margin. The FBA revenue calculator. Now the good news is you do not have to manually figure this out every time for every product. To calculate your profit margin, you can use the FBA revenue calculator, which is a tool provided by Amazon. Now, it is a little difficult to find, but you can use this link. So let's go look at a live example. But first you will need some data. So you're going to need the ASIN of the primary or competing product on Amazon. And don't worry, I'll show you how to find that. Your selling price, so you're going to have to estimate what you think you can sell your product for. Or you can simply use the primary product's price. You're going to need your estimated product cost. And you can just use the estimated product cost you came up with in the last module. And then you need to estimate the importing cost, in other words, shipping it from your supplier to the US. And then the shipping cost to Amazon too. But don't worry, we will get the real numbers for these later in the module. And in fact, it's what Module 2 is all about. So let's go take a look at an example. Okay, so we're going to use one of the examples we found in the last module. And I'm just going to use the cocktail shaker with the wooden base. So I'm putting my mouse cursor over the URL and clicking on the link. So this is the product we're going to use. Now I've just opened up the ASM supplier contact sheet because I want to show you that we're making things a little bit easier for you. So there's no need to go and search for the FBA revenue tool. You can simply put your mouse cursor over FBA revenue tool and then click on the link. And here we are. So the first thing we need is the ASIN. If we go back to our example here, you can see the link that we have in our sheet, which shows up here. And the ASIN is simply this long number with numbers and letters in it. It always starts with a B, and it's B07PGVTYS8. So you just want to copy that. However, if you're using a raw Amazon URL, it could be a huge long URL, but the ASIN will always be near the beginning. So I'm going to copy that number. I'm going to go to the revenue calculator, I'm going to paste it in, and we're going to search and see what it finds. So there you can see it's found our product for us, which is perfect. This is the product we want to use. We're going to need to choose an item price, and this is what we want to sell our product for. I'm just going to use the example from here, which is $29.97. And the only boxes you need to be worried about are the ones under the column Amazon Fulfillment. You can ignore your fulfillment. Essentially, this is called FBM, which is Fulfillment by Merchant. We do not do that. We use Amazon FBA, which is Fulfillment by Amazon. So it's Amazon Fulfillment. So I put the price in. So the next box we need to fill in, you can see here, ship to Amazon. And for this figure, we're just using the cost of shipping within the US. So either from your house or from your freight forwarder's warehouse to the Amazon Fulfillment Center. So as we discussed, a ballpark figure for you to use right now is 30 cents. And I'm not going to include the label cost this time because, as you will see later, you can avoid that extra 20 cents quite easily. And we'll cover that in the module that talks about packaging. So we've now got the price we want to sell for and the cost to ship to Amazon within the US. And then for the cost of product, what you need to put in here is the estimated cost that you have for your product. And you can just use the number we came up with in module 1. But you also want to add the cost of getting it from China to the US. Now, a ballpark figure you can use is $1, so $1 per unit. So if we go back to our example, this one here, scroll across, you can see the estimated cost was $10. So relatively high compared to the others. But if we add the extra $1, it takes us to $11. Now, we're still getting estimated profit. This is just showing you what your estimated profit margin is going to look like when you include Amazon's costs. So once we've got those 3 boxes filled, we just click on calculate. And you can see it's telling you all the figures. So for instance, the selling on Amazon fees, $4.50. Fulfillment by Amazon fees, $5. So the total fulfillment cost with the 30 cents to ship to Amazon is $5.37. And you see seller proceeds is $20. And the cost of the product is $11. So we end up with $9, which is about a 30% profit margin. So again, that's a pretty good profit margin. Now, in the remaining lessons in this module, we're going to be going through every aspect of this so you can nail this down and get a 100% accurate figure for your profit margin so that you can use that to choose your final product and supplier. So we covered the different fees that Amazon charge and also how to use the FBA revenue calculator. In the next lesson, you're going to discover different ways you can improve your product using a process we call product tuning. For now, your action step: check out the FBA revenue calculator and run a couple of examples from your sheet. But that's it for this lesson. Take care.